What is up, YouTube? I know it's been a very long time since I've posted anything. I just didn't really know what to post, but if you haven't read the title, or if you've missed like the t-shirt I'm wearing, or if you can't tell by the comic wall, today I'm going to be defending Avengers Doomsday. Because since the release of the trailer, I've been noticing a lot of slander, not on Doomsday, but also just like on the MCU in general. And the same way people have the freedom and the right to attack it, I'm gonna defend it. I'm not trying to convince you to switch your mind on it. I just want to give my POV and opinions and why I'm defending it and why I'm actually, I feel like one of the few people that has good faith and hope and excitement for this movie. So yeah, let's just get straight into it.
Dr. Doom's Doom Ray of Doom.
Also, shout out to the wall. I don't know if you can tell. Wait, can I zoom in? I'm using like a legit camera this time. Okay, yeah, so look at all those Doctor Doom covers. Soonly they're all gonna get taken out for Spider-Man. But glory to Latveria. So before I start anything, I just want to say I am a huge Doctor Doom fan. Not only is he my favorite villain in Marvel, he is my favorite villain in comics. He's my favorite villain in fiction. Across manga, movies, video games, Doctor Doom is my favorite villain, and he's been my favorite villain ever since I was a kid. The only person that ever really came close was Cell from Dragon Ball Z. They both use green. Maybe I have a type. But yeah, I'm not trying to portray myself as a Doom LARPer. I read the comics. Fantastic Four are my favorite property next to Spider-Man in comics, but reading wise, I like reading Fantastic Four probably more. I feel like they overdo Spider-Man. So I've read quite a few things with Doctor Doom. I have a lot of his collectibles, like I have the action figures, the Funko, and I also have the new Rivals Funko. And I can't show it because my PlayStation is off, but my profile picture on PlayStation is Alex Ross Doctor Doom, which is probably also going to switch to Spider-Man soon. But I'm a big fan of Doctor Doom. I love his stuff, even like with, for example, One World Under Doom, an event written by Ryan North, that received a lot of slander. I defended it. I think that did wonders for Doom's character. It elevated it. It did something new with the character, and it didn't just keep him the same. So yeah, I just want to start by saying I'm tying this also into what Doomsday is gonna be. Kevin Feige said it himself too, connecting it with Secret Wars. He said that Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars saga, so that's considering Original Sin, Fantastic Four, New Avengers Illuminati, New Avengers, The Avengers, the arc Time Runs Out, and of course Secret Wars. He said that whole saga is the blueprint for not only Doomsday and Secret Wars, but also the MCU moving forward after Secret Wars. This video might have some spoilers. When I get to a spoiler, I will give like a heads up. So just that being said, I've read the whole Hickman saga. I kind of like quickly read Original Sin, but I mainly read Fantastic Four, The Illuminati, New Avengers, obviously Time Runs Out, which is an arc that happens, well, Infinity to Infinity and Time Runs Out are arcs that happen across New Avengers and Avengers, and obviously Secret Wars. And like I have here for like visual representation, also this being Secret Wars issue 9 being my favorite comic book cover of all time. Obviously you've got Reed and Doom fighting it out, and this is very important. Then we've got obviously the Secret Wars trade paperback. I've read this at least 2 or 3 times. I love this story. Obviously it makes a lot more sense once you read everything. I tried reading it without when I was getting into comics and I didn't understand it. Went back, read Fantastic Four and everything I just mentioned. This is a masterpiece. The whole saga is a masterpiece, and I want to defend it because it's probably the most informed comic arc or saga that I'm informed in. So I just want to defend it. So I just want to start out by saying one thing I see a lot. Let's get to point number 1. Cameo slop. People are saying that this movie is just going to be a cameo slop, a cameo fest. It's just going to be cameos here and there, a bunch of cameos, and they're just going to live off that and nostalgia hype. No, I don't think people really know what a cameo is since Spider-Man No Way Home. Spoiler if you haven't watched it for some odd reason. In No Way Home, we see Tom Holland Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, the 3 Spider-Man. People said that movie lives off the Tobey and Andrew cameos. That's where they get it wrong. They aren't cameos. They are integral characters to the story and the plot that show up for more than 2 minutes. They actually play a key moment to the story of the movie. And they're in it for a good chunk of it. They're in it for the whole final third. Cameo is... I describe a cameo as like a quick appearance. For example, the Stan Lee appearances, or I think the max cameo like time limit you could say is in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, when we are introduced to the most disappointing Illuminati ever, where we get John Krasinski, Mr. Fantastic, obviously Patrick Stewart returns as Professor X, and we see Black Bolt and a bunch of other characters like Captain Marvel and another version of Captain America as Peggy Carter. That I would consider a cameo, because they don't really play that much of a big moment to the story, and they show up for maybe like 5 minutes tops. So this movie, I'm seeing people say like, oh, it's just cameos because they're bringing back the X-Men from the Fox universe, and probably all characters are gonna show up. Cameo would be like, let's say Toby shows up and we see him seeing an incursion. That would be a cameo. If Toby joins the group and he's in it for the whole movie, that's not a cameo. Also, Secret Wars, and if you haven't noticed what the saga is in the MCU, it is the multiverse saga, meaning we should be expecting to see characters from other universes show up. And these X-Men, the Fox X-Men, aren't cameos. They're actual cast members that are listed in the cast, and that they're going to play massive roles because it's a 3-universe collision between the Fox universe X-Men, the Fantastic Four universe, and the 616 MCU universe. So that can't really be classified as a cameo. And even if there are cameos, let's say Hugh Jackman Wolverine shows up, what's wrong with that? It's a multiversal story with universes colliding. We're probably gonna see some cameos. I'm expecting more cameos in Secret Wars, because that's like not all the universes, when the comics, the 2 universes merge or collide and Battleworld gets created by Doctor Doom. But that's probably where I would be expecting them. I think Doomsday's really gonna rely on the cast members that have been announced. If anything, the only other character I can expect showing up is probably like Toby, or like Doctor Strange, or maybe Andrew, or maybe Hugh Jackman. And I don't even think they'd be cameos, because I think we probably get them addressed in Secret Wars. It's not like, unless like let's say the movie opens. The movie opens and it opens with an incursion happening, and it's Tobey Maguire's universe and Andrew Garfield's universe, and an incursion happens and we see both planets or universes go. That would be like a cameo. And I wouldn't mind that, because it's adding to the lore. Adding to that, build up. Second point is build up. A lot of people say that there's no build up to Doom, to what's happening, and to basically Secret Wars, which is being advertised. Not advertised, but it's in the comic it is. Kevin Feige kind of said it too, then he kind of didn't say it, but he also did say it again. It's a soft reboot, at least in the comics, for Marvel Comics, and it is most likely going to be a soft reboot for the MCU. Now, when I say soft, I don't mean everyone's going to get rebooted. Soft, I mean like it's just going to create a whole new universe. It's going to be easier to track. We're going to get some characters reintroduced. I think we're going to get Iron Man and Captain America recasted and reintroduced. Who knows for the Fantastic Four? Who knows for Hulk or other characters? But like, there's going to be a few characters that do get recasted and reintroduced, and we're just going to have like one Marvel universe that has the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, Spider-Man, the Thunderbolts, hopefully the Inhumans, Guardians of the Galaxy, the Nova Corps, the Sinister Six, Doctor Doom, Magneto, Apocalypse. It's just going to be everything included now that Marvel has like all the rights back, almost, basically. But they can like make these movies with all their characters. This comic has build up as someone that's read it, but it's not crazy. Here's the thing, people are expecting them to recreate what they did with Infinity War and Endgame. Not in terms of quality, in terms of story progression. They want Doctor Doom to have the same build-up as Thanos, and Endgame to have the same build-up as... Secret Wars have the same build-up as Endgame. 2 different stories, 2 different villains. It would honestly feel recycled, and it would get called recycled if they just did the same thing. And I'm glad they're not, because honestly, spoiler for the Marvel Comics Secret Wars Doctor Doom thing that I'm about to say. In the story, in the new Avengers is where we first, or no, the Illuminati is where we first kind of start seeing the incursions, and it's a heavily talked subject in the new Avengers by Jonathan Hickman. Also, shout out to this cover. I should probably use this one because this is an incursion happening, or kind of like teasing in the cover. In New Avengers is where a lot of the incursion stuff happens, and Avengers also, but New Avengers, basically the Illuminati, Black Panther, Iron Man, Beast, Mr. Fantastic, Doctor Strange, for a moment Captain America. There's a big group of these secret heroes form the Illuminati, and they're the ones dealing with the incursions. They go to other planets, universes, and they try to find out ways to stop these incursions. That is the whole story for the Hickman arc until time runs out, where the final incursion begins to happen, and there's one thing. Doctor Doom isn't seen, there's no main villain. If anything, the Avengers are fighting themselves as the final incursion is happening. Captain America and Iron Man fight to the death as worlds collide. What happens? Doctor Strange tries to figure out who is in this like secret high power, and literally like 2 or 3 issues before Secret Wars, it is revealed that Doctor Doom is kind of like the main bad guy trying to save everything, and he's like up to no good. Now let's apply that to the MCU. We've had no build-up with Doctor Doom, and I think that's fine. Do I wish we saw some build-up and more of him? Of course, like I want to see Doctor Doom in live action. I want to see him do stuff, and I hope that after Secret Wars we still see him more, and I believe he will, because you just don't waste Doctor Doom in 2 movies. Even if you do him full justice, you're still gonna have him around in this soft rebooted MCU. But yeah, he's not revealed as like a main threat till like 2 issues before Secret Wars. That's when you find out Doctor Doom is behind the shadows or behind the curtains. So yeah, like in the MCU, Doctor Doom doesn't show up till the Fantastic Four movie. 2 movies before Doomsday. Obviously, who knows what Spider-Man has connected to Doomsday. But yeah. Second, this is obviously, I can't defend this too much because Marvel had some issues, obviously, with the whole Kang thing, which I'll get into that too. But we have seen incursions, or we have heard of incursions happen. And we've seen other things that can cause incursions. For example, the main one, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. I'm not fond of this movie. I left that movie kind of disappointed. As a Doctor Strange fan, I was really excited to see him after Endgame, and I just really wasn't a big fan of Multiverse of Madness. What I was, though, was the ending, where we see, I forgot her name, Cleopatra, I think. Well, no, I forgot her name. I'm sorry. There's a lot of names. But basically, Doctor Strange is told that he caused an incursion. Back then, probably no one knew what the heck an incursion was. Even myself, I was just I think that was a project that got me into reading Secret Wars, because I was like, what's an incursion? I read what it was, and I was like, alright, I'm gonna read it. But that was said. Also, I know we haven't seen anything with it, but we've seen other things that can cause incursions. A big one that connects to my next point, Steve's return. People are saying, oh, they're just bringing back Chris Evans and Steve Rogers to bring back money because they need him. They can't do it without him. No, they're doing it for the plot. Say what you want, they're doing it for the plot. Why? Tell me why. Tell me why. It shouldn't be allowed. This is a massive plot hole back in Endgame. Steve staying in the past with Peggy in a universe where there already is another Steve. That's breaking the timeline. That's the whole thing to talk about in Loki. That branches off things. That should have caused probably the first incursion. Steve staying there all that time. That probably caused the first incursion. And it is a plot point that causes stuff that's going to happen in Doomsday and Secret Wars. So it is relevant that Steve is in the story. Will he be a main character? No, and I hope not. But his plot from Endgame is integral to the story in Doomsday. Tracking back a little bit, the Doctor Doom build-up, I'm gonna reinstate this again. Doctor Doom doesn't need build-up. He's Doctor Doom. Everyone knows him. He's not some LARPing villain. He is Doctor Doom. He is, in my opinion, and I think pretty well known, Marvel's best villain. Magneto is like maybe a better character, but as a villain, as a bad guy, Doctor Doom is literally that guy. Personally, like I said, but I also believe he's the best villain in comics. Just because he has, to me at least, he has more written to him, and I haven't read every Batman comic than like so and so. A lot of people say the Joker is the best villain in superhero comics, but I believe it's Doctor Doom. But that's to each their own. He doesn't need build up. It's Doctor Doom. The only thing I wish we got built up was his rivalry with Reed Richards. But honestly, a lot of people are saying, oh, but you know, these guys are from the same universe. We don't know that. What is up, people? Brendan from the future, watching Spider-Man today. But yeah, I know I just said, oh, we might not be from the same universe, but San Diego Comic-Con just happened, and Pedro Pascal confirmed that they do have history, so they are from the same universe. Enjoy the rest of the video. Another thing I want to talk into is the visuals. Next point, and that connects to this next thing. Doomsday is probably Marvel's best held secret project. Very, 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 very little was leaked from this movie. And when I mean little, I mean like official leaks. A lot of AI images were going here and there. AI images recreating like leaked phrases, like people were saying like, oh, he does this, this, and this, and people would put that into AI and it would create an image, and people would put that on the internet saying, yo, this is from Doomsday, this is real. No, the only confirmed leaks, legit leaks we got, were the Xavier School destroyed, a battlefield in an open like park or something, the Doctor Doom outfit reveal that was shown at one of the China conventions. There was like a massive poster, and you see Doctor Doom like this, and that's his MCU design, as we can tell from the trailer. Those are the only legit confirmed 4K realistic leaks. Everything else, AI made. Also, I'm not looking out there for leaks and spoilers. I'm not looking for that stuff, of course. I just see the official things that really get kind of really 4K shown. So they did a really good job at like hiding this stuff, and people are saying in the trailer, oh, it looks so CGI, green screen, yada yada yada. And also, the MCU is the biggest franchise in movie. It's the biggest thing. Like, anything gets leaked. That's why they have to have all these shootings be kind of private. A lot of times it's being green screen or blue screen, unfortunately. Because if they do it in the open, everything's gonna leak. You're gonna be able to add 2+2. Imagine if they were filming like in London or Scotland, where a lot of the New York stuff gets filmed, and you saw Doctor Doom fighting Shang-Chi. Then you're gonna be like, oh, now I know Doctor Doom fights Shang-Chi and this other guy in the movie. And then you add another 2+2, and you start figuring out the plot little by little. Where with movies like The Odyssey or little other things where they're more practical, they can do them in smaller locations, indoor locations, and for a lot of times you don't really know what it is. Like, for example, I know a lot of people have read Dune. I didn't. A lot of Dune got filmed in the desert. Can't get people to leak stuff there a lot. But with the MCU, a lot of that stuff really gets leaked, so they really have to keep it. They gotta work with what they got. And I'm glad they do, because it would be really unfortunate if they were just filming it normally and a lot of stuff got leaked, and then everyone's seen basically half of the movie through set pictures and just using common sense to add certain points of the plot. Next up, the Kang issue. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. I like the actor that played Kang, Jonathan Majors, really good actor. In no mean or disrespectful way, I'm glad they scrapped that. I know a lot of people say like, oh, this movie's gonna be a mess, they should have just kept the Kang story, take the L, move on. No, they released what the Kang movie was supposed to be about, much smaller scoped and cast. It didn't really sound good, but also my main issue with it is I would have been fine with that. My main issue is when they had Kang, they announced Kang Dynasty, and they also announced Secret Wars. Doctor Doom wasn't in the original plan for Secret Wars, it was Kang. And in Kang Dynasty, there was no X-Men and no Fantastic Four. So you're telling me Secret Wars. If you haven't read Secret Wars, this cover is going to describe it. Secret Wars, by the way, Jonathan Hickman said it himself. Secret Wars is a love story to the Fantastic Four and Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom's rivalry, which to me, it's the best rivalry in comics. He said it's a love letter to it. If you read it, you'll understand. The Secret Wars is a Fantastic Four story, and I'm happy because that's, That's my team. Let's go. It's a Fantastic Four story. Like that's it. You can't have this story work. You cannot call it Secret Wars if you don't have the Fantastic Four in it or Doctor Doom in it. Even in the 1980s when Doctor Doom was a main focal point, you can't call it Secret Wars and not have those characters. You're just putting the title on it, but it's not really the source. You're creating something new, and I'm not really happy with that because this is such a great event by Marvel Comics that I'm really happy that it exists, and I'm happy the way it is. Obviously, I'm not saying recreate the whole movie one by one, no, but there's certain things that you have to have in the plot that are from the source material. That brings me to my first worry. You might be saying, oh, it's probably going to be RDJ's Doctor Doom. No, I'll get to that next. My only worry is, like I said before, the Doom and Ree rivalry. Like I said, this comic is literally a love letter to the rivalry. It's the battle between them and their ideals and their morals and their philosophies, their egos, setting them down, family. Literally, the final issue is just Reed and Doom fighting to save the universe. And they have a beautiful, beautiful talk. Like, they have this one panel, like I said, I'm not trying to spoil anything for anyone, but literally, let me see if I can find it, I'm sorry. Where is it? The whole final fight between Mr. Fantastic and Doctor Doom looks like a clash like this. And it's them talking about their ideals, their morals, who's right, who's wrong, who saved and who couldn't save, whose ego is higher than the other one, who is the right person to save the universe, and who is right to do by so. You can't do Secret Wars without having these two in it, and my only worry is that we're not really going to see that rivalry in Secret Wars. And my other worry is I've seen rumors. I'll look into rumors. I won't look into leaks. I'll look into rumors. I'm seeing rumors that the rivalry is going to be Doom and Steve, since Steve caused all these incursions with his endgame decision. The only way I let this slide is that if Kevin Feige comes out and says like, oh yeah, Doctor Doom will return in Fantastic Four movies post Secret Wars, I'll be fine with that. Then we can do Doom and Reed rivalries there. If not, that's like my one disappointment that I'll have, is that we don't see the Reed and Doom rivalry because it's so poetically beautiful. Now, the RDJ thing, I'm a defender of it. I don't see an issue with it. The moment it got announced, I was like, first off, I was like, what? Then I was like, nah, they should have gone someone else, maybe a voice actor, since you don't really see Doctor Doom's face that much, get someone with a cool voice. And then after like 2 weeks, this kind of combines another point in, with people thinking this movie will flop. It's the Russo brothers. The Russo brothers haven't made a bad Marvel movie. Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. 3 of those movies are in Marvel's top 10. Top 3 maybe, top 5. Endgame hasn't aged crazily good. Obviously the final third of the movie is insanely good, but the rest, it doesn't hold up as well to the other ones by the Russo brothers. So the Russo brothers also have watched a lot of interviews. They actually know their comic sources. They know what they're doing. So bringing RDJ back. From the trailers, you guys can see, it looks amazing. You can't even tell it's RDJ. The voice, unrecognizable. I'm glad Doctor Doom has an accent. The mask looks amazing. Who knows if he takes off the mask or not. Kevin Feige did say that in the movie it will get explained why he looks like RDJ. So I'm all up for it. After seeing Oppenheimer, I was like, RDJ can play a villain. Absolutely. He has that range. So I'm content with it. I'm genuinely content with it. I don't see an issue with it at all. That time, another point, it's the Russo brothers. I'm really glad that this movie is taking a lot of risks. They know they had a bit of a slump in the multiverse saga, and then with the Kang issues. So instead of playing it safe, they decided to gamble and risk, and I think that's amazing for Marvel that they get to do that. Because like, why not? You've built this empire. Why not take a bit of a risk? And that's what they've done, and I think it will pay out. The risks being, of course, already bringing back RDJ as Doom. That's the only thing that's like actually bringing back to be like dangerous. I don't think Steve has anything to bring back as dangerous. I'm glad Thor is finally like the lead. People are saying, oh, they're just... Sorry, my camera cut. I was just saying, that people are saying like, oh, bringing back Thor is such like a nostalgia bait thing. Like, no, Thor's story is nowhere near done, and I'm really glad they're finally giving him the lead role. That's amazing. So I'm really content with that. Other risks being releasing the trailer and on the same day as the tickets go on sale, 4 months before the movie comes out. For example, what comes out on that day too? Dune Part 3, which is also another movie I'm really excited about. I almost said book because I read the book. The first trailer for Dune came out months ago, early this year, I believe. Like maybe like April or March, or maybe like February. It came out pretty early. And everyone was like, oh, what's going to happen with Doomsday? When's the Doomsday trailer come out? 4 months before. They put tickets on sale the same day. Big risk, in my opinion. You're instead of having a small cast like Kang, they're having a massive cast of the new Avengers, Thor, the people of Wakanda, the Fantastic Four, Doom, and the Fox X-Men. They're taking big risks with this movie, and I'm happy with that. The other thing I forgot to say about the visuals, people saying about, oh, the green screen, this and that. We always forget it's just the first trailer and the movie's still in post-production. I know Marvel sometimes cuts it really close. This movie had more than a year to be in the works. A lot of times Marvel kind of cuts it really short and just gives it like a year, sometimes under a year to do post-production stuff. This movie has had a year and a half. I think it will look fine. We've seen it. I see it when I watch movies like for example, recently, Spider-Man. I'm seeing a lot of comparisons between the first trailer and the final trailer, which I haven't seen the final trailer because I'm trying to go into that movie blindly, but I'm seeing images of same shots. It looks so much better now that the movie's closer in the final trailer than the first trailer that was so far back. So just give it time. But again, I can't speak. The VFX will be looking good. What I love is the color grading and the lenses and everything. The camera quality or the lenses or whatever it is, the color composition, whatever it is, really, it looks so crisp and like HD in this movie with like how like the lighting hits. That's probably the word I was looking for, lighting. I think it looks amazing. It just gives the movie a certain tone that I'm really fond of. Okay, next point, part of my final point combined into two is the Fantastic Four. This is like not like something I'm expecting. This is more of a want. I really want the Fantastic Four to be a focal. I'm really going to exaggerate this focal point in Doomsday and Secret Wars, because a lot of the word right now is that post-Secret Wars, Marvel is going to focus heavily on the X-Men, which I don't mind. They're a much bigger franchise, but there's no word on how much they'll focus on the Fantastic Four, and there's still no confirmation on a Fantastic Four sequel, and there's already rumors of a Thunderbolts 2 sequel. As a Fantastic Four fan, that genuinely really worries me, because I want to see more of them. I want them to have their time to shine, because they never get it. I thought First Steps was an amazing movie. It's one of my favorite Marvel movies. I think it's honestly one of the best ones. I'm not saying like top 3 or anything. I think it's in like a top 7. That's like a hot take for another day with other Marvel movies. Sorry. Damn, I did it again. So I just want them to have a moment to shine, because though I do want this X-Men reboot to be amazing, and I'm glad it's focusing on that, and I hope they tap into certain things like the Krakoa era. X-Men had a whole Fox cinematic universe dedicated to them. Spider-Man has had his own universe dedicated to him. The Avengers had the whole MCU saga of like 15 years dedicated to him. The Fantastic Four have had 3 movies before First Steps. I really want the Fantastic Four to get like a moment to shine. If it's going to be in Doomsday and Secret Wars, Marvel's biggest event, I hope it's in this. I really hope they get a focal point. I really hope they focus on them heavily. I hope they're as big as a lead as like Thor, especially in Secret Wars. But who knows, we'll have to wait and see. And that being said, I also want to talk about the team. A lot of people are saying like, oh, this team is so weak, because Thor says, you know, he's fought with warriors stronger than all of them put together combined, yada yada yada. Everyone's just nostalgia baiting this thing. Everyone wants Iron Man back, everyone wants Black Widow back, everyone wants Wanda back. They don't want to progress towards other characters, and I think it's kind of dumb because Marvel has a lot of characters to offer. We should allow these new characters to be incorporated and have their moments to shine, and I apply it to every character in Doomsday. I don't think this team is weak at all. I know people are like, what Doctor Doom is going to see when he faces the Thunderbolts, and that clip of Jake Gyllenhaal like reloading his guns, and it's like captioning the Thunderbolts. I think it's different. You know, there's Sentry also, obviously the Fantastic Four in Wakanda. I'm excited to see how this thing works, but also a lot of people downplay the Fantastic Four. A lot of people say like, oh, they nerfed Galactus in the movie. I don't really think they did. Galactus isn't really a villain. He's a force of nature in a food chain, just like a shark is in the water. They control population just the same way Galactus controls population and controls celestial population in the MCU. And also the Fantastic Four are just, they're a team that works really well together. They're Marvel's best team. I said what I said. The X-Men have better stories. Obviously Avengers deal with all like the greatest stuff, but like as a team, just a team core, no stories, no nothing, just team core, team chemistry. Fantastic Four are the best ones. They're the only ones that really get together well. The Avengers is such like a big roster that even the Fantastic Four are sometimes included in the Avengers. It's like more of a business. The X-Men, so many times they don't get along, literally, where people leave the X-Men team here and there. They form different teams. They go solo. And the Fantastic Four, the only ones that are like, obviously they're family, but they actually do feel like a family. And I think it's very crucial. They're also wicked smart. People are saying, oh, they nerfed Galactus. No, they didn't. The Fantastic Four had a plan. It failed. They had a backup plan. It failed. Then they had like the finale where they invite Galactus to Earth. And like, oh, we're going to have him step in here and take the bait. That plan failed. They had another plan to rescue Franklin, and that one failed. Then the plan, Sue to push him in. I think there was like a slightly plan before that. Oh no, Reed trying to weaken Galactus with opening a thing. That failed. Sue pushing Galactus into the thing. We thought that won. It failed. Galactus was finding his way out of that universe like black hole thingy. Their plans failed constantly, and they adapted in the moment and overcame stuff. And obviously Johnny was going to sacrifice himself, but then Silver Surfer came to help, probably because she saw that these guys are continuously coming up with backup plans that are helping the cause. Like, Johnny would have probably sacrificed himself and that would have worked. That's what makes the Fantastic Four so good. They adapt on the spot. If something fails, quick, another idea comes to rise, and they don't give up. It's not like they nerfed Galactus. That would have applied if like the Fantastic Four beat them with the first idea of taking a bait with a fake Franklin in the little baby capsule. That would have been like, okay, yeah, that's kind of weak. But they had like 4 different backup plans until they actually pushed Galactus away, which is kind of like the only way to beat Galactus. So I don't think this team in Doomsday, and specifically the Fantastic Four, are weak. I think this video is already pretty long, so I'm probably going to get to my conclusion. I'm going into this movie with some expectations, but I'm not expecting the most. I'm just expecting what I know and what I love. I'm excited to see it. I love the Fantastic Four, like I said. I think I'm rooting for my god Doctor Doom in the movie. I really want to see him do some cool stuff. I really want to see him ore farm. This is the best Doctor Doom we've seen, and he's not even... We've seen 3 scenes of him in a trailer, and he's already the best version. In terms of the accent is amazing. People were debating if people wanted like a foreign accent, like the one he has in the trailer, or if some people wanted like a more English sophisticated accent. Either one would have worked. I wanted one or the other. I didn't want him to just sound like plain American. So I'm glad they went with the accent they chose. It sounds amazing in the trailer. The design looks peak. It's gorgeous. I was seeing a lot of like different concept art, and in some the eyes were looking smaller, and some of the others were looking really massive. The mask in First Steps didn't look that great. But the final version in this trailer, when we see that close up, where he's looking at Thor, and then when he's like rising up, it looks peak. I also like the torso, the cape, everything, the runes he has for the magic all over. Really cool. That's another thing I like. His powers. I was led to believe from the old movies that Doctor Doom got his powers with the Fantastic Four from like the space wave. After reading some comics a few years later, I found out, no, Doctor Doom's thing is science and magic. Obviously, the armor adds a lot to it, but he's learned magic and he uses technology and science. And it looks like that's the route they're going with in this movie, and I'm really excited for that. So yeah, I have full faith in this movie. I did have a few worries once it first got announced and we saw RDJ, but honestly that quickly went away once I thought it's the Russo brothers. And to all the film bros critiquing this movie for just being slop, just go watch another movie, dude. If this movie isn't for you already, then don't go watch it and just continue bashing it. Like I said, I'm really beyond hype for it. I can't wait to see it. I already got my tickets. And yeah, Doomsday in 4 months. Thanks for watching.